Okay, so this was about 1995 or 96 when I was at Ole Miss. We'd been there just a few years, and God really used these two guys. He used all those guys. Okay, David Brown in the picture here. David came from Auburn to help me working with fraternity guys. And the guy in the middle there, Bo Pennebaker, he was one of the first Sigma Chi's that I connected with who really helped the Sigma Chi ministry, which we'll talk about in the next video. But Gordon Fleming over there on the left, he was a Sigma Nu that was really faithful, and he started stepping up as a freshman, and he was the first Sigma Nu that really started walking with the Lord and being a leader in that house. And as a result, Gordon and I started leading a Bible study with the Sigma Nus, and as a result, Ron Wetzel there on the right is in a nasty train with me headed to Romania to do ministry in Romania. And David Ruff, those are two guys, by the way, we're smoking our first Cuban right there in the train, which is really nasty if you think about it. But David Ruff was a solid guy that got involved with us. Ron came to know the Lord with Gordon and I, and Ron ended up going overseas as a missionary for a year in Pisa and met his wife over there, who was a missionary also, and then he became a doctor. David's been a faithful donor of our ministry ever since, but those were two of some of our first Sigma Nus that we ministered to. Now, on the bottom right there, you'll see Tommy Tosh, and some of those other guys are Sigma Nus that are in the picture. But Tommy is, you'll see in some of our other videos, Tommy was the Sigma Nu who got involved with us, came to know Christ with me, really was one of our faithful Sigma Nus, but he tragically died in a car wreck his senior year. But we saw over, man, 700 students come to know Christ through his life. And God really used him. I mean, after he passed, there was a guy named William McKenzie, who I believe may be in the next picture. Now there's Tommy. William and I, there we are duck hunting, but William was really stepped up to be the Christian leader at the house at that time. He was also a pledge trainer, and God just used him in an amazing way to reach out to the younger guys in the Sigma Nu house. Now, during the years, God has brought us a lot of Sigma Nus that have poured into other Sigma Nus, but Kyle Cole, who's the third person to the left there, he's standing with a bunch of Sigma Nus in Florence, Italy on one of our spring break mission trips. And all those guys right there have been faithful guys in the house. Some of them have gone to the minister for a few years. Some of them have, I mean, every one of them have just been faithful guys. But it just shows you how one person can change so many guys' lives. This was a picture just a few years ago. Kyle on the top right with some of the guys. The person on his left, Connor Coskery, he's been over to Italy 3 or 4 times. The guy on the far left, he is interning with us this fall, and then you've got Drew Narmore there on his knees in the front. He's about to intern for this the second year. Will Martin is who I was talking about in the top left. But these are just faithful guys that have poured into faithful guys over the years in the Sigma Nu house. That's a picture of one of our co-ed Bible studies. The Sigma Nus have some of the best turnout. That's probably 350 freshmen there between I think that's at the Katie house. And we share the story of Tommy Tosh every fall to the co-ed study. And we have a Sigma Nu who buys us about 800 to 1,000 Bibles that we give to every freshman that comes to our co-ed Bible studies. But what God started in the Sigma Nu house, it literally is continuing to happen today at Ole Miss. That's a co-ed study this year with the Sigma Nus and the DGs.